Ladies and gentlemen, here in this video, we will go over all of your Tesla stock breaking news today, the option activity that we seen on Friday, and what we can expect in this upcoming week as far as a potential gamma squeeze. As I explained in the last video, the option activity on Friday was extremely bullish, and that is why Tesla stock throughout the day went up almost 9%, and it looked like a textbook gamma squeeze. Now, some of your expirations on Friday, 5 of them specifically, were 100,000 or higher for volume. That is pretty rare. And what you tend to see happen is when a gamma squeeze starts, when you see this gamma activity, it tends to continue until it is disrupted. And when you look at Tesla stock on the 1-minute candlestick chart and what we've seen on Friday, it's pretty reminiscent to what you've seen during the last period of a gamma squeeze for Tesla stock. This was really from December 3rd or so until about December 18th, where you just kind of went higher almost every day. And I do believe that we are going to continue to see this gamma squeeze, especially as we are now in 2025. I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of reasons to be bullish on Tesla stock. AI, robotics, full self-driving, robotaxi, lower price Tesla vehicles, Tesla Semi starting production, lower price Cybertrucks, lower price Tesla products in general. I mean, that's a pretty bullish setup for Tesla in 2025. Mix that with deregulation, allowing FSD to, progress into robotaxi, perhaps a little bit faster. Maybe what I believe is a more accommodative Fed if inflation comes down more than expected under Trump 2.0. And you have a really bullish setup for Tesla. I mean, especially considering we are now in 2025 and there is a lot of reasons to be bullish on Tesla. Nothing really changed via Tesla's delivery number that came in a little bit lower than expectations. Deliveries, generally speaking, are not the biggest positive thing going for Tesla next year. It's AI, it's robotaxi, it's lower priced Tesla vehicles. Nobody really expects Tesla's demand's going to pick up all that much until we start cranking out these lower priced Teslas. And that hasn't even happened yet. So for anyone that's bearish because of the delivery number, you might want to reconsider that. Now, towards the end of 2024, we've seen a lot of profit taking and a lot of tax loss harvesting. 2024 is over with. We are now in 2025. And as we look ahead to the rest of this year and some of the best places to position, Tesla is at the top. Now, I know some people hate when I say I don't like big tech. I'm not bullish on big tech. It's factoring in the growth, okay? When I say Apple's super expensive at 33 times forward 12-month earnings, I'm saying it's expensive not because it's at 33 times. It's because it's grown revenue 5% in 3 years. There's no growth. That's expensive, okay? Tesla, on the other hand, is going to grow top-line revenue 20+%, 30% this year. 6 times faster than Apple has in the last 3 years, and it's trading at 4 times the multiple. Do the math there. Tesla is a cheaper company factoring in growth. So that's one reason, if you're more of a fundamental guy, that you could kind of justify Tesla stock going higher. Now, it's not all about current fundamentals. It's about future fundamentals. And I think the future outlook for Tesla will continue to get better in 2025. And right now is really the first start of repositioning back into Tesla stock. Because let's face it, a lot of people were shaken out of positions as Tesla dropped from $490 per share down to $370 per share. A lot of people were starting to call for Tesla to drop back into like even the mid 200s, which never seemed likely to me. Now, we do actually have some big news today that could positively impact Tesla and really the rest of the markets. You could see here that Foxconn, the iPhone and AI server assembly giant, said December revenue rose 42.31% year on year to about 19.88 billion US dollars on, quote, strong demand from AI servers and an increase in shipments of key components and growth in automotive related businesses, they said in a statement. Fourth quarter revenue up 15.17%. We were only expecting a gain of about 12% or so that beat expectations handsomely. And 2024 revenue was up 11.37% to 208.2 billion, a new all-time high. Foxconn also said that the first quarter of 2025, quote, should show significant growth compared to Q1 2024, but will track traditional off-season performance similar to the average of the last 5 years. Now, why is this good news for markets, for Tesla, and really the AI trade? Well, I mean, it's simple. Foxconn had good earnings, and they say that the first quarter of 2025 should show significant growth. I mean, that's pretty good. If you're going to have an issue with AI, if NVIDIA is going to have a bad quarter, you're probably going to see Foxconn also have a bad quarter, or at least not give us, good guidance for Q1. This kind of dampens down some of the concerns that investors tend to get around earnings season, especially lately when it comes to AI. Looks like the AI story is alive and well. Also in the news, yesterday, in fact, Evercore ISI analyst Chris McNally has raised his Tesla price target to $295 per share from $195 per share. I still think that's really, really low, but hey, it's a $100 price target increase. And there are questions around when the Tesla diner is going to open over in Hollywood. It looks like things are being completed, just kind of putting some final touches on. And the last couple superchargers are still being installed, but this thing could open pretty soon. And here we can see two different versions of the Tesla Semi. Not exactly sure what the difference here is. You can definitely see this one has a higher top, a more, rounded off top. This is kind of a square body top. Not exactly sure what the spec difference is here, but this is something that I'm personally pretty excited about in 2025. Is the Semi going to move the needle dramatically for Tesla right away? No, they're going to make like 10 of them a week. But over time, the Semi is another large total addressable market for Tesla. And it's just one of those kind of pathways that will enable larger growth into the future. AI Root with Barron's said this about Tesla's FSD, quote, version 13.2 is really good. The number of times I have to take over on the road is down substantially, and the driving is significantly better. FSD is starting to feel like a solid human driver. It navigates parked vehicles, construction, difficult left turns, speed bumps, and pedestrians with a surprising level of expertise. Let's focus in on the Tesla Gamma Squeeze that I think will be continuing in this upcoming week. Now, I think it was important to go over some of those biggest news stories today, including the Foxconn earnings report, because these are all positive things that could influence Tesla stock. Foxconn's earnings, in fact, I think could be really good for the overall markets, but especially good for AI stocks. Now, option activity on Friday in Tesla stock, you had 279 different trades totaling $185 million, with a positive order value of 75%. Now, on Thursday, you had 518 different trades totaling $2.31 billion with a positive order value of 34%. So, guys, we seen an impressive Gamma Squeeze on Friday, or at least the start, the Gamma ramp, if you will. They call it a Gamma ramp because it looks like a ramp when you're going through a bit of a Gamma Squeeze. And that's pretty much what the charts look like on Friday. But it was a low dollar amount of, option activity, right? Compared to some other days. And just imagine if we can start to get back up to like $2 billion in positive option activity again for Tesla. I think that will happen. I think right now, really starting on Monday, hedge funds, institutions, money managers, whatever you want to call them, professionals, quote unquote, they're coming back to the office. A lot of, Wall Street doesn't really pay attention to the first week in January. They come back January 6th this year, that is, and then they make those portfolio adjustments. And I think given the setup that we have for this week, as long as nothing goes really, really bad, and we'll talk about that in the next video, there is good reason to get reallocated to our markets. One thing that I can specifically point to that I have been talking about, and if, again, we do rally from here, this is going to be a kick yourself in the ass kind of moment for a lot of people because I've just said it so many times, but markets are bearish, right? Percent of stocks trading above their 50-day moving average at 38%. Anytime you're this low in a bull market, you want to be buying. Anytime the CNN Fear and Greed Index is in extreme fear or the lower bound of fear, you want to be buying that as long as you are in a bull market. Even the AI Investor Sentiment Survey is hitting a new multi-month low for bullish investors. Bullish investors are now below the historical average. Historical average at 37.5%. Today, you're at 35.4%. Okay, so you're, 2.1% below your historical average for bulls. So we're not even like at the historical average, okay? Yeah, stocks, they're still up a lot over the past 2 years. Over the past couple of months, they're still up a lot. But people did get quite negative into the end of 2024 for no reason. I mean, I think it was a lot of tax loss harvesting and a lot of profit taking, and nothing changed with the bull thesis. So now what happens is people get reallocated back to markets. The question you have to ask yourself is trying to, predict where people reallocate is what is set up to do the best in 2025. And Tesla is the top of the leaderboard with big tech, right? If you're looking at specifically big tech, I can't make a strong argument for any other big tech name that could do better than Tesla, right? It's not Apple, it's not Microsoft, it's not Amazon, it's not Google, right? None of those stocks are going to post better, faster growth than Tesla next year. Something would have to go very, very wrong for Tesla to not be number one out of big tech. So that leads me to believe we're probably going to see a lot of new positioning back into Tesla this week. Mix that with a potential gamma squeeze, and Tesla stock could soar. Now, we also have a very large short position, as I've been going over this with you guys for weeks and really months now. On Friday, you had 1 million shares that covered on short positions. There's still almost 80 million shares that are sold short. So like that was a drop in the bucket. If you do see a push for shorts to actually start covering on short positions, that would obviously boost Tesla stock. I'm not going to count on that, but the higher Tesla goes, the more, I guess, likely you are to see a short squeeze in Tesla. And I know some people say, oh, there's only 3% short interest of free flow. Like that's not a lot. But when you're talking about a stock the size of Tesla, that's a big deal. You have almost $31 billion sold short in Tesla currently. And again, about 80 million shares currently sold short. And from a technical perspective, we held support roughly around this trend line here at about 385. I know you did fall below that, and the close of the day was around 379. The first day of 2025. Tesla deliveries sent the stock down about 6%. Considering the run-up that we have seen, a 6% drop on deliveries should have been a bullish sign, if anything. And that's kind of what I said on deliveries, that I wouldn't give up on a potential rally for Tesla stock just because deliveries missed a little bit when 2025 is really not about deliveries to begin with. With that said, we did have a gap down, okay, from the last trading day, December 31st of 2024 to the first day of 2025. You filled that gap, okay? You filled it perfectly. Now you're in a position where we're going to be retesting the 20-day moving average here pretty soon. That is at about $423 per share, and a break above that is going to send us back to about that 460 level. And I think that could easily happen this week. Really, it's probably not going to take too long. A trading day or two could get us up to that level. That's actually a 11.5% rally from here. And then once we get above 460, that's where things could get interesting, especially as we get into some of the data that will be coming out later this week. So I'm bullish for this week, very bullish actually. In fact, I will share my specific price target with you for this week in the next video, so stay tuned to the channel for that one. I will also point out that volume has been lower, right? You're not seeing those big volume days like we did, 200 million for volume in Tesla multiple times over the past couple of months. You see 95 million in volume on Friday. Like, that's a decent volume day, but it's still very low, and volume has just been low since December 20th, right? It's the holiday. People went away on holiday. Now, a lot of people are going to start coming back starting Monday. So let me know what you think about all of this information down below in the comment section. Ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.